What's up YouTube, Jeff back again today on the very exciting Samsung video for you guys. And today it is a very interesting day for Samsung fans around the globe. We've been hearing for months that the Galaxy S26 series would comprise the Galaxy S26 Pro, S26 Edge, S26 Ultra, and then a few weeks ago we heard that the S26 Plus may also make a return. Well, now it turns out the whole story wasn't fully complete because Samsung is reportedly canceling the Galaxy S26 Edge in favor of perhaps a return to the more traditional 3 flagship release in 2026. Now, this means the S26 Plus is most likely going to make a return, but what does it mean for the other devices? Is the S26 Pro going to get any camera upgrades? We're going to talk about that today in today's video and get into what plan Samsung has. This could actually end up delaying things as well for the launch. Before we get started, I do want to remind you guys, if you are ordering the Galaxy S26 series, make sure you check out our mystery box program. You'll be able to get a free case, cleaning kit, desktop phone stand, other randomly inserted goodies. This time we're including a 65-watt charger, USB-C wired earbuds in every single box. All you have to do is use our affiliate link to order. Check out the link in the description, put in your phone number, email, or both. You'll get a link to sign up for SammyGuru rewards before the launch. Place your order through our affiliate link. That's how we cover the shipping and all the items in the box. We basically share revenue from our affiliate program by giving back to you guys and giving you some really cool goodies with your new phone. All of that's below, supports our great coverage here on YouTube and the website as well. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about it. Samsung has reportedly canceled the Galaxy S26 Edge effective last night, about 12 hours ago. Several sources, including Junkers Love on X, a couple of different outlets in Korea, as well as the Elect Korea. Our own source has also confirmed this as well. Chunbai over on X as well. Tons of reliable people have confirmed this, Ice Universe. So it's pretty much a done deal. Now, why did Samsung cancel the Galaxy S26 Edge? Well, reportedly, they've seen terrible sales for the S25 Edge. That's really no surprise because as we've talked many times on the SammyGuru podcast, myself and Tori, who's my co-host, there's just a weird situation with this year's cycle because they released the S25 Edge in May outside of the typical S-line release cycle. And so, of course, I don't think anyone expected this phone to sell particularly well, and it's not a surprise to me that it didn't. Now, does that mean it's a bad phone or that there's no demand for it? I don't know that that really means that. Perhaps there isn't as much of a demand for it because, honestly, Apple has seen less than ideal sales for the iPhone Air from everything we've heard from Apple sources who cover their business side and their sales data and all of that. So maybe there isn't a huge demand, but they also released it at a weird time, which further exacerbated the issue. It really seems like Samsung decided to follow Apple here with the ultra slim phone strategy, and that's the thing that's gotten them into a bigger problem than anything else. They're not really coming up with their own ideas, and they jumped into this market only because Apple was going to jump in with the iPhone Air. In fact, that's what the sources in Korea said. They said, hey, Apple was going to enter, that's why Samsung entered this particular segment, and they wouldn't have entered it otherwise, and now it's really cost them because they were planning a follow-up for next year, and now because of poor sales and also what they've seen from Apple's sales, they've decided that there isn't enough consumer demand and they're not going to make it. So the S26 Edge is gone. I think it's kind of a shame because there was some promise here if they'd actually followed through. There could be more consumer demand if they innovated on the idea a little bit. The S25 Edge was a good phone, and if they had replaced the Plus with the Edge and went with silicon carbide batteries, it could have been a pretty interesting release. But what this means now is we're going to get an S26 Pro, an S26 Plus, and an S26 Ultra in 2026. Now, the S26 Pro also had some interesting leaks today, which is unfortunately bad news for those of you who are looking for professional cameras. It appears that Samsung will use the same camera in the S26 Pro that was present in the S22, S23, S24, and S25. That is 5 years in a row of the same main camera sensor, and it doesn't look like they're upgrading any of the other sensors significantly either, which is very disappointing. I don't really know what is going to make the S26 Pro earn the Pro moniker because it's not really changing anything from the base Galaxy S25. You might as well just call it the Galaxy S26. It could be a base model like it's been for several years. The S26 Plus, we don't really know anything about it Could it incorporate some of the ideas from the Edge now? But it seems too late because these models are already being developed. It seems like Samsung had a contingency plan with the S26 Plus in case they decided to pivot from the S26 Edge, which has indeed happened. Now, the S26 Ultra seems like it's still on track and it is being developed on time, but these other changes to the lineup leave Samsung with a couple of options, and one of those could result in delays to the S26 lineup. We could see Samsung move the release date of the S26 series back to February of 2026 when it was originally scheduled for an early January release, like it has been the last few years for the Galaxy S lineup. Because of this, it could mean that the S Ultra also could release in January, and then later, a month or two later, they could do a launch series for the S26 Pro and the S26 Plus. Now, personally at SammyGuru, we think it's more likely that Samsung will just delay the whole lineup because it would be kind of weird to have one S lineup in January and another one later in February or March. And also, a lot of people might just buy the Ultra, but again, that could be a reason Samsung wants to do that. Maybe they want everyone just to buy an Ultra, and then if you want to buy one of those other smaller phones, you have to wait. I personally think a delay to February makes sense. That's not too long of a delay. They still get things out in a decent amount of time, and it's still going to be relatively in the ballpark of when they released things in the past. Anyway, some crazy developments for those of you who are following the S26 series. S26 Edge is canceled. S26 Pro, perhaps not getting those Pro upgrades that we were hoping for. Samsung really is a little bit lost right now, in my view. They need some changes on the hardware side for sure to bring people back and restore confidence of longtime Galaxy fans. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really want to know what you guys think. Let us know in the comments section below. Check out SammyGuru, bookmark the site. You can also follow us as a preferred source on Google News and Google Discover. Check out that mystery box program if you're interested, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching.